library friends, I'm Miss Liz. This is Paper Cuts, and today we're going to be making some lovely little 3D frogs. These can be really cute if you get the legs folded right. Some of mine look a little bit like crabs. Please excuse them. All you're going to need is one piece of square paper, and we're going to start with the basic square base. So we are going to fold into a big triangle. This is the same base you use for making paper cranes and a lot of other different things. It's a very common base in origami. So you do that big triangle first. You fold it again into a smaller triangle. And make sure you're getting all your creases sharp. There are a lot of folds in this one. Then we're going to flatten our triangles out into diamonds or squares, depending on how you hold it. And there's several different ways to make this base. This is just the way that makes sense to me. So if you have another way you like to do it that way. As long as we end up with the same base, that is 100% all right with me. Okay, now you're going to fold your flap over, stick it up in the air, and we're going to flatten it out. There are a lot of folds in this module. There's a lot of repetition. I can get my finger in there, we'll flatten it out. So we're going to do this to all our other flaps as well. So we're just going to turn this into a little kite, make sure we get all of our creases down, and then we're going to fold it over and move on to the next flap. Just be careful as you do it, work slowly, work methodically, and make sure you are getting all of your folds precise because it does matter. And we're going to do this with all of the flaps that we made with our base. Okay, now that we have made this lovely kite shape, we're going to fold our corners into the middle. So we're going to cover up that white, bring those corners into the middle of our kite, make really good creases because we're about to do a petal fold. So side one, side two, and then you're going to open everything up. And we're going to pull it out and fold it down. This is technically called a petal fold. It's very difficult to describe. You're just kind of going to smoosh everything in and create a point up at the top and try not to crush anything. You want it all to fold neatly. And you're going to have to get your fingers into those corners and make sure they are folding correctly. It is difficult, it takes a little bit of wiggling. My folds are not doing great here, but we will get there. Now you have a successful petal fold. Now we're going to do it again. So we go over to our next segment. We're going to fold our corners into the middle. It is difficult to keep everything flat so you can fold correctly. That is the difficulty of this model, is you have to fold the same thing so many times and it all gets bunched up, so it becomes a little difficult. So just take your time, and it may take a couple of tries to get this one right, but you can do it. Just keep on trying. It took me several times to get a frog that I liked. Now we have made our folds. We're going to do that petal fold again, which is very tricky. So open it up. You're going to put your fingers in the corners to help that fold go smoothly. Then you're going to push everything in, pull your tip up, and go slowly and just sort of ease and press everything into place, and you will get there. We've got 2 more folds to do. Okay, at this point you have an open end of the model that has all these little legs, and then you have the closed part that's going to be your body. So now I'm trying to sort out how to get 2 legs on each side and have them where I can move and fold them. And I have that now. You can see I have 2 separate sides, and now we're going to make our legs thinner. So I'm going to fold my corners into the midline, making the open end with the legs thinner. So I want to make sure what I'm folding in half is not the end of the model that has a closed end. I want to make sure I am decreasing the size of those little frog legs. And we're going to do this on all the sides. There's a lot of repetitive folding here. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm just going to keep repeating the fold until I have no other legs. Now that we have folded our model in all kinds of strange ways to get those legs folded, we have to open it back up correctly. So I've got 2 legs on each side, one above and one below, and there you go. Alright, now it is time to fold our legs. So I'm going to reverse fold my front legs forward. So you're just going to stick your finger in that pocket and pull the legs as straightforward as you can get them to go. And for the back legs, we are going to have them sticking out to the side. So just stick your finger in, reverse fold, pull them out to the appropriate angle, and you can kind of mess around with what you want. Play with it a little. There's no one way to get the legs exactly right. You just kind of have to fiddle with them. Now that we have our back legs sticking out to the side, we're going to add another bend to the middle. So they're going to go out and then back. So that's just another little reverse fold you're doing in the back legs. Now this is a part where it can end up looking like a crab if you're not careful. We're going to give the front legs a little bend, and we're also going to give them a second bend right at the end that's going to look like a little foot. You can leave those front legs straight if you want. It's completely up to you. Alright, we've made the legs. Now it is time to inflate the body, and you can either blow into the end of the frog, or you can kind of give it a little squish and it poofs up by itself. I had a hard time blowing this up because the legs were all in the way, but you can do either way, and that is how you end up with an origami 3D frog. As you can see, it does take a little trial of error to get your frog to really look like a frog, but have fun making this origami model, and I will see you guys again next week with a new origami project for you to try.